Leslie Katz has a wonderful story about a place called My Sister's Place.
And I will tell. My Sister's Place. So I am the chair of the board of directors of My Sister's Place. My Sister's Place is the largest domestic violence agency in Westchester County. How I got involved in My Sister's Place, is, I think this may happen for many of us, was through one of my children. My daughter, Michelle, when she was in college, volunteered one summer at My Sister's Place in a really interesting volunteer program we have called the Sisters-in-Law program. Sisters-in-Law receive a lot of training, 30 hours of training about domestic violence, about the causes, and particularly about how to assist victims of domestic violence, and with a focus on the legal aspect of it. And what Michelle and the volunteers do is they accompany victims, women, to court when there are various court cases, whether it's a hearing for custody or an order of protection or divorce or whatever the various things are. And the sisters-in-law accompany the victims to court, not providing legal service, but really providing moral support, someone to hold the woman's hand, in many cases explain what's going on. There may be language challenges. We do have a lot of our clients for whom English is not their first language, a lot of Latino clients, and so anyway, so Michelle volunteered and literally came home pretty much every day that summer with another extraordinary story about a woman or a family who had been a victim of domestic violence, was in court, the abuser across the aisle, terrified, and it certainly sparked, I think, both for me and Gary, a real interest in this organization. And it sparked a desire that Michelle decided to go to law school after college and really has a strong interest in this area. But anyway, so what does My Sister's Place do? So we provide shelter and advocacy and legal services and training to victims of domestic violence and their families, their children. We have 2 emergency shelters in Westchester County where victims can come for safety, and then we provide a tremendous amount of counseling and support services to help those women and their children achieve not just safety, but achieve independence and be able to move forward with their lives. We have a small legal center, about 8 lawyers, who also provide legal services, as I said, both family law and immigration. There are very often related issues for victims of domestic violence where their immigration status becomes part of how they are controlled and abused. We provide a tremendous amount of education in Westchester County. So we go out to hundreds of schools, both high schools and middle schools, educating children about what's a healthy relationship and what is not a healthy relationship. And I would say at its core, the goal of My Sister's Place would be to put ourselves out of business and to not have any need for services for victims of domestic violence. But we're a long way away from that. We've all, or many of us have talked about the 20 minutes away, life is different. Well, I can tell you quite honestly, it's not 20 minutes away, it's here. It's everywhere. Domestic violence has no boundaries as far as economics or religion or race or any other criteria. It goes across the gamut. Basically, My Sister's Place, we've served about 3,000 adults and about 2,000 children every year. We have an emergency hotline man 24/7. We raise about $2 million a year. We have a $6 million annual budget. $4 million comes from contracts with the county, with the state, and with the federal government. And the other $2 million is through fundraising from individuals, from corporations, and from foundations. It's been around for almost 40 years. It's a, I think, spectacular organization in that the staff are the most wonderful combination of compassionate and caring, and yet very knowledgeable in terms of helping these women and children move on with their lives. So, love to have your support in any capacity, volunteering and otherwise.
And the new shelter they built is beautiful, but it's a secret where it is, of course. Sworn to secrecy.
But it's beautiful.
If I go, they have to kill me.
And